Hello, everyone. So this is Conexión LARES again with part two of the LARES Leaders graduation segment. And we do have some new guests here today. So similar to the other one, we're going to ask a series of questions that they're going to be able to answer. So that way they talk about their experience at UIC and as students at the university. But yeah, so who do we have with us today? So please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sara Valdivia, and I'm getting a double degree in biology and Spanish on the pre-med track.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daisy Fernandez. I am a rehabilitation science pre-physical therapy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria Orehin, and I'm majoring in sociology and a minor in psychology.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shayla Bedoya. I'm double majoring in psychology and sociology.
Awesome. All right, so with that being said, we're going to get started with our first question for today. So as first generation college students, what does graduation mean to you? And even if you're not first generation, there has to be a significance that has to be very important and down for you. So what is that? Like, what is that definition?
Well, for me, being first generation college student and graduating, it means the world to me because, coming from parents who didn't have the opportunities in getting their education, but coming over to the U.S. here and providing that opportunity for their daughters, because I'm a daughter of 3, it just means the world that their sacrifices are becoming a reality in a way. And as well as my own sacrifices pushing towards this goal that I always had in mind. You don't really envision it entirely until you're there and you're like, oh my gosh, it's happening. All that hard work finally paying off. It means the world.
I think graduation for me is not just a celebration and accomplishment for myself, but also for my parents. They came here not having anything and they gave me everything I could wish for.
I feel like for me, it means I could succeed in anything just because the same thing, I'm a first generation college student, but also a first generation high school student. My parents didn't have the opportunity to go to high school, so any little accomplishment for me is a big success.
For me, it's kind of like a reward from all the sacrifice, support, and encouragement my parents have given me.
I love all those answers. And it went really smoothly too. It's almost bam, you all had that ready to go. So I'm pretty sure with this quarantine, you've been able to kind of think about these things. So that's definitely good. Yeah, let's get that second question, Ileana.
Well, thank you for sharing a little bit about what graduation means to you. As we know, a lot of us think of school and education as where we go to get smarter, maybe to learn skills. And yes, you grow academically, but can you tell us a little bit about other ways that you felt like you've experienced growth in these last few years?
Yeah. So for me, I feel like as a person, just professionally, I picked up new skills here and there, how to network with others and stuff like that. Socially, I've made lifelong friends for sure in college, and just everything entirely. I feel as a person, you just become more mature and you see your goals becoming a reality. So you grow with that as well.
I think for me, I definitely became more independent and also more educated on the issues that we face as a Latino community. All of these issues kind of made me appreciate more all the sacrifices that my parents have done.
I felt like I had a lot of personal growth starting off college, not really knowing anything or my place. I feel like I've learned how to just navigate uncomfortable situations and kind of put myself out there. I studied abroad and just doing things I never thought that I would do, just for my own personal growth.
I think for me it would be a lot of confidence and kind of breaking out of my shelf and talking to new people and people that I don't know.
So it sounds like in a way you used your education in a way to foster your own identities, to kind of that confidence that it allowed you to develop in the skills that you've learned. So, and then even Saria, you mentioned networking and being comfortable and developing lifelong friendships throughout your college experience.
So adding on to that, because with development there comes a lot of aha moments, those experiences that you realize, you know what, like this is the trajectory that I'm going to follow and this is the route that I'm going to go. But like there's always a time where you kind of like pause and say, okay, this is what I want to study and this is what I want to pursue in the future. So when did you have those moments in your college career?
For me, I've had many moments where I feel like I don't belong in the career I'm trying to be in, because pre-medicine is filled with very rigorous science classes. It's insane. Sometimes I want to pull my hair out, and you give it your all, y a veces it just doesn't, you don't get the score you want and stuff. But I think the moment was actually when I was taking Orgo, and that was probably like the peak of like, oh my goodness, these science classes are just not it. And I went to tutoring at LARES with Jose, because tutoring with my TAs, they just kind of were like, read the book, like it explains it to you and stuff like that. But I didn't understand. So I went to LARES, and Jose, he explained it in a way where I understood, because I'm a visual learner. I can't just read a book and imagine it. I don't know how people do that. So with me, it was kind of like when I went to tutoring with him, and he taught me like ways on how to study certain like topics in Orgo, and seeing like that better score on the exam, I was like, you know what? I got this. Like, I can do this. Like, I can keep going. And yeah, just finding, I guess, that support group that like really pushes you to keep going, for sure. We're kind of like, you know, I'm gonna do this for my community and I'm gonna keep going.
For me, I would say I was really scared to continue pursuing my career as a physical therapist, because I don't know, it's just like a very like white male dominated field. And I remember being very scared like to go in a field like this. I felt like I wasn't good enough to do this. And I remember going to like my LARES advisor and like telling her everything that I was feeling and like why I didn't feel like I could continue this. But she pretty much made me like realize that that's the reason why I should do it, because I should be wanting to help people from my community. And I've seen it too, like when my parents go to any of their healthcare providers, they like struggle a lot with being able to communicate with them. So I think this was like when I realized that like having those support systems is what's going to help me continue with my career.
I feel like for me, it was when I started my capstone project and I started interning at Gads Hill Center. I kind of built a bond with some of the kids there, and I could see how they looked up to just me and like other UIC students. And from there, I kind of had a moment of realization that they need like mentors that look like them, that can help them go and pursue higher education.
For me, I didn't realize what I wanted to do until my junior year. It was kind of too late. I decided to do social work, and I just realized it when I started shadowing a lot of the social workers at my internship. So that's when I kind of was like, I should have picked a different major, but I'm not disappointed with the ones that I picked so far.
And it's honestly amazing when you do find it. Kind of like all of you mentioned, there's really different times that you come to that conclusion. So whether it was like early in the freshman, sophomore year, but even junior year, like that's still a great time to figure it out. I've met some students that maybe find out their senior year, but it's important that they at least find it, because that's really going to shape what's next for that. So definitely applaud you all for having those moments and for the careers that you're pursuing.
And for not giving up when you feel discouraged, right? I think Gonzalo and I can definitely relate to that. Maybe at one point we might have felt discouraged, either by what we saw, by what we heard, by what was said to us, and still finding those moments to connect with people that were going to encourage you. Which kind of brings me back to something that a few of you have mentioned, this sense of community. So as UIC students, it sounds like a lot of you have been parts of different communities on campus. either learning communities, student org communities. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it was like to find a community at UIC? When and how did you come across it? And how did that help you in your journey at UIC?
Yeah. So for me, it was always a priority of mine to surround myself with people, with empowering people that understand the struggle at the same time. I came from a high school where it was only, I think, 5% Latino, and there was like 3,000 students within the institution. So I needed that. I wanted that sense of a community, because with a community, you're essentially stronger. You have people behind you and you have people to support at the same time. So it was definitely when I, again, went to LARES. I joined LARES Leaders as a freshman, and just hearing all these like empowering speeches from like Latino legislators, different people working in policy and stuff like that, and discussing these issues within our own communities, it was just empowering itself, because in our educational system, we're not really taught all this, like all the issues and struggles that are going on, so within our own communities. So that being said, like when I went to LARES and joined these like programs, there was also Las Ganas, a research program for Latinos, which I've never heard about before. Really cool, because it's hard, even though we're in a research institution, it's hard to find those professors that are willing to get you in for research. So having them bridge that gap really is helpful for the STEM students. As well as I also work for a program, it's called the Urban Health Program, and mentoring brown and black students in high school in underserved areas of Chicago, and pushing them to get their like degrees and stuff like that, go to college and apply, because sometimes at these schools they don't really have that support, they don't have those programs. So it's good to like go into the communities and tell them, you got this, like essentially you can do this. Like if we're here, you can be here too, and we're a resource here at UIC to help you.
My freshman year, I didn't really look for any services to help me, so I felt really lost. My freshman year, I didn't feel like I belonged. But my sophomore year, I reached out to LARES, and I like joined so many things that helped me become who I am today. And I feel that once you find that community at UIC, then you're able to find like people who face the same struggles as you, and you're able to work together to like get past those struggles.
I think I found my community when I joined Sigma Lambda Gamma sorority my freshman year. It really just helped me feel more confident and also just branch out. So through that's where I joined LARES Leaders, and I realized that there's a whole bunch of other people that are willing to help you in this college journey.
I found my sense of community when I joined Alpha Psi Lambda, just because the values that they had also reflected the values that I personally had too. And it has been a great experience, because I was able to network with other people and also meet new people.
Really do. I think the sense of community really stuck out to me, just the way you all speak about it. Of this community is something that kind of gave you confidence, or allowed you to believe in like, yeah, there's people like me and I can be here too. And even what was mentioned earlier, mentoring people or students at a high school, or new members in your students' organizations. I think it's really great that you're continuing that cycle of building community as you move forward in your education and eventually in your careers. And so the last question, in the beginning you talked about what graduation meant to you, and a lot of you spoke about family. So the last question that we want to ask is, who do you dedicate, or who do you want to share this accomplishment with?
I have a long list, but essentially my family for sure. That they were my number one supporters from the start, always pushing their hija to keep going and sigue estudiando. and my friends, you know, staying up those late nights with me, studying all night and stuff like that for those exams, and all the programs and all the people that have supported me along the way. It's just looking back at my college career, it's been a lot of ups and downs, but we're here. And yeah, shout out to all the programs out there. Can I list them, or
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to
Go
give
ahead.
them a shout out, but like Daisy said, I talk too much, so I was like, you're right, sis.
Now give them a shout out. Pretend this is a graduation ceremony.
Okay, wait. Okay, ya voy a empezar otra vez. But so for sure, like when I'm giving a shout out to LASEP, the LASEP Track 3 program that I did over the summer. Any students out there looking to do a summer program, look into that for sure. Giving a shout out to Messina Scholars, my pre-med students out there. Go look into that. LARES Leaders for sure. That was the next program I joined right after Messina Scholars. Las Ganas, if you want to do research. Like, there's programs out here that are provided everywhere. And a shout out to my org, Gamma Phi Omega. My sisters out there, I love you. And big shout out to the Urban Health Program. If you ever want to volunteer to help mentor students and teach curriculum that is science-based, please reach out. And as well as volunteering at the Pilsen Food Pantry, because Dr. Figueroa needs volunteers and she is a great mentor, so please reach out.
I definitely dedicated to my parents. I think that none of this would have been able to have been accomplished if it wasn't for them. They gave me like so much support, both like emotionally, financially, and I think that it's mostly an accomplishment for them. Like, it's how I'm giving like my thanks to them. But I also do want to say like thank you to like a lot of support that I've had at UIC. So like LARES has been very supportive, teaching me a lot of things that I couldn't ask my parents because they don't know. And also my sisters of Gamma Phi Omega were so supportive with anything that I faced. They were like my older sisters. I went to them for everything.
For me, I would like to dedicate it to my parents and my sister who really supported me all along the way. Also, my little dog Mochi, who always makes me laugh. And all of my sisters from Sigma Lambda Gamma, especially my line, Sol, shout out to you for being there all the steps of the way for my college journey.
I want to share this with my parents and my little brother who's applying to UIC recently, as well as LARES for helping me out through the graduate school applications and everything, as well as my brothers and sisters from ASI.
I always love hearing these, honestly. I mentioned it in the last one, but I have to mention it again. But it's like every single time that I sat through those LARES graduation speeches, everybody was like, oh my God, this goes on forever. I'm like, I wish it kept on going. Just because it's so inspiring to hear all the different messages, all the different stories, and all the people that you're dedicated to. Because to be honest, it literally takes a community. And it's really exciting to see you all graduate. And most importantly, with your LARES Familia, we're proud of all of you. We know that you've worked really hard to kind of get to this level right here. And even though it's not your normal graduation, given the circumstances, we know for a fact that at some point, your family's going to celebrate you. Your people are going to celebrate you because we're that community. We're that community where we don't stand back for celebrations. We'll make them happen no matter how delayed they are. But yeah, so one last thing. What's the one message that you would give out to the current students that come after you? So those freshmen, sophomores that are out there, or any student that's out there at UIC, what's your message to them?
Seriously, keep going. I've had people tell me I couldn't make it back in high school. I should have a plan B, stuff like that. People second guessing the career I'm chosen. Keep going. Like, after, even if you're at the bottom, you're like, I just can't. Soul search within yourself again and find that reason why you chose that path in the first place. And that reason, make it your drive. So keep going. That's my biggest advice.
I would tell them to find their place at UIC, never forget where you come from, and always remember the sacrifices that your parents have done to get you this far.
I would say, ponte las pilas and échale ganas.
I would say don't be afraid to make mistakes because we learn from those mistakes.
Those are definitely great messages to share with all the students. And once again, thank you so much for joining us in this segment. It really means a lot. And again, congratulations on completing this semester and completing your college career for your undergrad. And whether you're going to keep on going to your master's programs, best of luck. If you're going to go get a job, best of luck. You know, like whatever you decide to do after this moment, just know that you do have a family here with LARES, and that will always open your, oh, damn it, that was going so good. Okay. Know that you have a family here at LARES that welcomes you at any moment to come back and maybe speak to LARES leaders in the future. So we'll definitely be looking forward to having you all at some point or another. But yeah, anything you want to share, Diana, to the students?
I just want to once again recognize all of your hard work and recognize you for your achievement. And I always do also like to give a shout out to the parents because, as you all mentioned, family and parents have been a big part of this. So felicidades a todos los padres también por la graduación de sus estudiantes.
Los padres, los abuelos, los tíos, las tías, los sobrinos.
Toda la familia.
Everybody. But yeah, so congratulations again. And then if Ileana, you want to do me the honors of waving those amazing 2020 congrats and graduate stuff, just because I know that we're definitely celebrating you all.
And it's just the beginning, right? You're starting here and there's a lot of new and amazing things happening for you all. So congratulations.
Congrats, the class of 2020.
Make sure you take time to celebrate your success, celebrate your hard work, celebrate your degree. Again, celebrations might look a little bit different, but we are still celebrating.
We definitely are. All right, everyone. Thanks again. And hopefully the next video of Conexión LARES is just as amazing as this one. But yeah, thanks for connecting. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.